Hi, Happy New Year 2024. A lot of people ask me, why am I so passionate about ESG? And I promise that I will answer them on the New Year day. First of all, I remember that on the day, 30th August 2022, I read the Star newspaper published and announced by our government represented by the Ministry of Finance. They officially announced the adoption of ESG. I believe in originality and I believe in education. Therefore, I seek out the originality of the institutions. Which institution I should go for? EFFAS not even rank the top institution or colleges worldwide. So I asked them why. They say they are the legitimate and official institution that they do not do marketing at all. They are the only institution in the world under United Nations officially certified an ESG analyst. And this certification can be carried as a title, not every other colleges or institutions. I agree, we should stick to the originality. Therefore, immediately I signed up the course and I went through it and I passed. I am now the EFFAS certified ESG analyst. Why am I so passionate about ESG? Because when I read the definition, ESG means ESG integration, integrating ESG concerns, considerations, factors into security valuation model and investment decision process from the risk and return perspective. Instantly, I saw that this is at financial level. This is a thinking process, a mindset. This is a great mindset. This is a great way of thinking. And coincidentally, it matches my mindset. I think the same way. I look into it. I identify the concerns and consideration the same way. Let's talk about what I saw. What I saw in ESG that we truly need to promote ESG. But let's summarize what is ESG. ESG started in 2004 by Kofi Annan, at that time was the Secretary of United Nations. After many financial crises, he realized that we need to pay attention not only on environmental protection, also on economic growth. We need to walk with two legs. We need to make the economic growth as the driving force. Along with, in any decision we make, we should include the consideration of environmental protection. In business, economic growth must be the priority. But environment is equally important. We cannot live in an environment that is not viable, right? The second point is, why would Kofi Annan ask the financial institution to collaborate with United Nations to come up with ESG integration? Why? Because in all companies, the first report they publish is an audit report, it's a financial report. That means the first-hand information of all companies is this financial report. So we read the companies starting from figures. We have to read the companies through figures. This is the first step. Nonetheless, I saw that this mindset, this thinking process being applied by all these financial institutions is not implemented all the way down to the ground floor of operations. It does not make sense to me. Think about this scenario. When the financial professionals on their own thinking, analyzing, making decisions which company to invest, and they make good decisions. They have identified the companies that should invest with a good potential, good ROI potential. But that's it. Do you think they can achieve the goal, the ROI they want, just by thinking, just by analyzing? This mindset, this thinking, this decision need to be cascaded, communicated, implemented by all companies at their operations. Many companies argue with me that they do integrate ESG elements into their operation, but all that they consider, identify are environmental related, SDG goal related, sustainability related. Let's make it clear. Sustainability is not ESG. Sustainability is the doing part, is the doing all the SDG goals. SDG goals are the global indication framework that help to reduce global warming and achieve Paris Agreement 2030-2050. How can someone achieve financial goal only by doing SDG projects, only by doing environmental projects? This does not make sense, right? And the doing part, if this is not governed by the mindset, by the thinking, you will not get the outcome of ESG mindset aim to be or designed to be. You can think of sustainability as your body and ESG as your brain. If you are doing something not governing by the ESG mindset, you are not going to have that outcome. Do you see my point? Now, let's talk about what did I see in ESG that can make a difference in this world. Number one, I saw that this ESG mindset, the way of thinking governed by an ESG framework, is the same as my mindset. And my mindset is the same way, but governed by logical thinking. Instantly, I know it works, because this is the way it works for me greatly. Number two, I saw that this thinking mindset has not been cascaded, communicated, and implemented in the organization. This is a mindset that all the leaders of the companies and everyone of the company should have. They should think the same, and so that they can do the same, achieving the KPI, the economic growth. This mindset is not only for environment, it is for all decisions you make within the company. You can also apply in your personal decision. Think about this. What is ESG? ESG, of course, in the acronyms, it is environmental, social, and governance. But what does it represent? E represents the whole world, right? The environment. S represents all the people, human being. Governance represents system, the monitoring system. That means when we talk about ESG, we really have to think about almost everything and anything under the sun. Remember this, ESG focuses on economic growth. In achieving this economic growth, you have to consider all the environmental, social, governance issues to protect the environments. We need to work with two legs. We need to keep our environment viable. Does it make sense to you? Fourth, we must always stick to originality. I see that this world compromises a lot of integrity. For those who don't feel the originality as the integrity, I challenge you to relate it to yourself. Think about this. If something you have initiated, you are the founder, you are the originality, but someone took the phrase, changed the contents, and claimed it as theirs. What do you think? This is the situation. The originality belongs to United Nations. United Nations initiated it. After 20 years or along the line, people other than the United Nations, they change the content and claim it as theirs. People accept it just simply because they are the big organization, they are the schools, they are the universities, they are the colleges. To me, you can come up with anything. You can initiate anything. You can even challenge the efficiency and effectiveness of ESG. But don't call it ESG. Call it something else. Because this phrase, ESG, has been coined by the United Nations. And they have specific content. They have specific framework. The United Nations has initiated ESG and applied it at financial sectors. I am the founder for ESG Integration in organization because I take it all the way down to operations. I see that this is cut up for me. Why? Number one, ESG begins from financial sector. You must have financial background. I have financial background. I was CFO before. Second, implementing this ESG mindset in organization, you really need to have the experience at high level, top management level. And you also need to have experience in all operations. I had the experience in managing a factory. Otherwise, how do you talk to the C-executive? How do you talk to the top management? And how do you know enough operation to help them? Because helping companies implementing ESG in operation is very challenging. Because from the source of financial information, you need to know how to read the stories behind those figures. You need to see the problems of the companies through those figures. That means you need to know how to qualify those figures. At the same time, for the non-financial information, you need to know how to quantify those non-financial information. The key tool of ESG is double materiality. Even the financial professionals they might be trained for financial materiality, but they might not be trained for ESG materiality because this is not covered in their course. This part is a non-financial knowledge skills. Now we talk about why is it the world need ESG. First, from the global aspect, this world has changed. The international trade has changed. Most countries have become less open and more defensive. Diplomacy has become less effective. This is why the world today has so many wars. Think about the financial situations for all countries. Do you realize that the financial situation for most of the major countries have been deteriorating? Even China, USA, for example, China, USA, even Europe, they have a lot of hidden concerns you have to worry about, have to think about it from now. From the market aspect, think about it. What is market? Consumer. Market is about consumers. Consumers are population, people. Think about the birth rates in 60s. The average is about 7, 8. 10, 12 is very common. In 70s, the birth rate average about 5, 6. In 80, the birth rate is about 4, 3, 4. In 90s, the birth rate is about 3 to 3. In 2000, the birth rate is about 1, 2, or even 0. Do you see that the size of the population is diminishing? That means the market is shifting. The shrinking might not come that quickly, but the shifting is immediate. Shifting from the younger consumers to the more senior consumers. The whole world, senior populations has been increasing. What about AI? How AI impact us, our living, our business? For sure, AI is replacing a lot of jobs. That means also replacing a lot of people. But from the positive side, since the population is reducing, AI make up the void, the difference. But that also means that there are challenges to your quality, your competencies, your capabilities are becoming bigger and bigger. Anything that is repetitive, that is high volume, labor work, information gleaning, data analysis, all these will be first gone, replaced by AI. Then what has left for you? You really have to dig into the humanity, the capability, the competency of humanity that cannot be replaced by AI. Nonetheless, even the qualitative part of humanity can be replaced by AI. It is just a matter of time. Why do I say so? Because the chips to your brain has already been created. If AI can read the signal of your brain, that means it controls your brain. When someone controls your brain, it controls everything. So like people say, if you want to win the war, you catch the head, right? Having said all this, what is it to do with ESG? As I say, the interpretation, the acronym of E is environment, the G is governance. These both are quite mature, quite well developed because sustainability is all about the E, the environment. The corporate governance is all about the G. What is missing, what is underdeveloped is the people. And this is what I want to focus on. All that I say just now, it simply means this world is less and less forgiving. You can't afford to make a lot of mistakes. And you will be soon replaced if you don't think about it now. ESG is a mindset, a framework that identifies all the concerns, factors, consideration. In the past, you might think that, okay, we still have time. When you see the problem, that's okay, not a big deal. But now, no. You don't want to wait for the crisis to prove that you are not strong. Just like me, you look at me, I might look healthy. You never know. I might have a lot of hidden concerns. If I don't deal with these hidden concerns, do you think I can live till 100 years old? To identify all these concerns, factors, considerations, elements of ESG, we really need to focus on asking more questions. Our minds should focus on asking questions instead of talking, giving your opinions. It is not easy to identify hidden concerns. You really need to have the skill, ability, capability, competency to know what are those stories behind what you see. Don't just focus on what you see. What you see is an expression of what you don't see. And also, not just ask questions. Challenge the questions. For example, people ask me, why are you so passionate about ESG? Why not? Why not? Right? Another question. When people annoy you, or in your mind you know that person is mean, is rude, right? But then you need to challenge the question. What did you do to trigger that mean attitude? Yes, that person is mean. That person is rude. They didn't do it right. But something triggered that behavior, that attitude. Question yourself. What did you do to trigger that? That is the more profound questions to ask. Do you see my point? I'm very passionate about ESG, especially the S, because I see that it is time to really face and deal with the hidden issues, hidden concerns of human beings. And I am cut out for it. Come to me, attend my courses to find out the answer. Challenge me. Can I really do it? I'm waiting for you to challenge me. See you in my courses. Happy New Year. 恭喜发财.